What about DEI now? When you see major companies, Fortune 500 companies taking hits and some taking gains because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And some would say like, yo, we going AI. I don't want to feel obligated to do certain things, but for the certain people who have been oppressed, suppressed, and forgotten, we need our jobs. We need equal rights. What's your stance on that?
Before he answers, let me say this. Black people do not need DEI. We have enough skills, we have enough intelligence, we have enough knowledge to contribute to workplaces and governments and all of these different assets, businesses, without having a specific set-aside program.
He can't say that.
Is he allowed to say
I'll
that?
say it louder.
Yes, I know the history of this country, but we're in a better position than any of our ancestors were in terms of having opportunities. Stop treating black people like we're back in the 1800s. We're back in the early and mid 1900s. Yes, there are issues with America, but we have the power to change our lives. There's so many opportunities out here. We don't have to sit and wait for white people to give us a handout. We don't have to sit and wait for people to give us an opportunity and tell us we're good enough and pat us on the back and rub our head. We're not doing that. If you're down with DEI because you think that's the way for you to gain access, you're giving someone else the power to control your destiny. And there are things that we're going to be as black people that we're going to be excluded from because of the man behind the curtain controlling things, right? You know that, I know that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These things happen. These secret conversations happen. But there is a way for black people to succeed in this country. So stop waiting for people to include you that don't want to include you. Because even if they do it temporarily, like Target did, when they get tired and it's not benefiting them anymore, they're going to cut you off at the legs. And then you're going to be scrambling, wondering how you can pivot and go in a new direction.
I don't care about DE&I. I've said in op-eds in Time Magazine, Black Enterprise, and Fortune, you want to kill it, kill it. It's already been weaponized. It's been made political and emotional, and you know, it's dead. DE&I as a program is effectively dead. I don't care about DE&I. I love diversity, and I love math because it doesn't have an opinion, and God has a sense of humor.
Right.
So for the first time in history, this country cannot succeed without all of us. In 1950, America was 90% white. Not 1850, Cam. 1950. Today, America's 40% black and brown. Within 10 years, there'll be a majority of minorities. The biggest economy in the world, the US. First of all, you never had a superpower that wasn't the economic power at the same time. In the history of the world, Rome, France, Germany, you never had a superpower that wasn't economic. So we're the superpower, we're the economic power. And 70% of the US economy, about $29 trillion, is consumer spending. That's you and me, going to restaurants, going to lunch, playing video games, buying our phones. That's consumer spending. Or the plane tickets that we bought. That's us. Even the racist wins when black people succeed going forward because GDP rises. We're having the wrong argument. In fact, we're arguing. There's no need to argue. There's not enough college-educated, successful white men to drive GDP, gross domestic product, for the next 20 years. So unless my white friends want to be speaking Mandarin in 20 years, meaning Chinese, or taken over by Russia, which is not likely, but unless you want to be speaking another language, we better figure out in the next 5 or 10 years that we're better together.
I like what he had to say there. He said there's not enough white people to drive the economy by themselves. It may have been like that in the 1800s, early 1900s, even the 1950s, which was 75 years ago. But it's not like that anymore. There's so many different minorities and so many different groups here that you have to work together, regardless if you like it or not. The cream of the crop is going to rise to the top. That just rhymed, and I wasn't intending to rhyme, but I'll take it. What's significant about this conversation today is I've been hearing about this Blackout Friday thing. People are going to be boycotting businesses that got rid of their DEI and their black-owned business set-asides. That's called Blackout Friday. That's what people are doing today. And I keep seeing this discussion like, oh, people aren't on code. People aren't aligning with this movement. You don't need to align with this movement. If Target is going and taking businesses out of their stores, taking products off of their shelves, it's because those businesses are not performing well. It's that simple. I've said it on this channel before. Somebody came over here and called me a coon. This is not that. I don't know what other channels he's been watching or what's going on in his head, but this is not that. This is about empowering yourself, not waiting for a handout because you think you deserve to be in a place strictly because of the color of your skin and they told you that. Any place that you are, you've earned your spot there. And if they take you out, it's because your product was not performing. It's simple as that. Businesses exist to make a profit. If they're not making a profit on what it is that you're selling, then you've got to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this Blackout Friday, I don't see the purpose of it. I don't see why all these people are trying to align and quote unquote punish a business. If you don't want to shop there, then just don't shop there because they're not promoting a certain product that you think should be in the store. If you think it should sell and it's not in the store, go buy it from their website. Go buy it directly from the person that is selling that product. You know who wasn't taken out of Target? Tabitha Brown. Her product, whatever it is, whatever gambit of product she has, like she has the line of seasonings and whatever else she has sold to Target, those things are still in stores. You know why? Because it's performing. If you've been taken out, it's not performing. And I know that Target isn't the only place. I just keep mentioning them because of Tabitha Brown, and there's a Target right around the corner for me. So it's fresh in my mind. But even in institutions where they're saying, hey, we're not targeting people strictly based off the color of their skin, right? We know that the colleges ended affirmative action and all these types of things. You, as a black person, have enough intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to get into these institutions, get into these businesses without having to rely on the color of your skin. In a time when those incentives were created, up until now, if you had that advantage, I think that you should use it. If you are given an advantage in life, you should absolutely use it because life isn't fair. Whatever you have to get forward, whatever you have in your life that's going to give you an advantage to get forward, you should take advantage of it. But now that it's ended, now that we're 5 years removed from George Floyd and they're saying, hey, we got to remove this stuff off of the shelves because it's not selling, it's not really aligning with our business goals anymore. And it's not winning public sentiment like it was 5 years ago after the George Floyd protests. When they make that decision, the advantage and opportunity has ceased to exist. And the people that are still standing are the people that had a great business, had a great product to sell, and people are continuing to come back and get it. But if a business that you liked was removed from the shelves of Target, was moved from the shelves of any other business that had a DEI incentive and initiative, go buy it directly from their website. And if they don't have a website, that's on that business owner. They have to have the infrastructure to meet their customers' demands. That's with every business, black, white, Asian, Mexican, all of them. We're going to continue to have this discussion, at least on this channel, until everybody realizes there is nothing fair in the world. Life is not fair. Whatever you think that you're owed, you're not owed. If you like the video, like the video. Subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. And if you have thoughts on DEI or Blackout Friday, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Till next time. Peace.